Hello, it's Charles Folkart on September the 4th, 2017. Welcome those of you who watch and subscribe and support this channel. I really appreciate it. You may know I no longer have internet at home, and it's been good. It's been good. I do miss some aspects of the internet, being able to use it as a library to learn new things, but it's made me, not being on the internet has made me turn to books and other things that I do to take up my time. And that's the point of this video here, folks. It's okay to just be. The last few months I've gotten away from the internet, the laptop, the phone, all that, and I went up here in the mountains in Montana, and I spent an entire month there, away from all this, because I found myself, like I said, irritated. I was irritated and agitated is probably the word, and having cut out those things has dropped my agitation level down. And also it's given me time to contemplate and to think and to use introspection. And as I said in the previous video, the Creator and I had a wonderful time together in the mountains. He showed me some things that I needed to see. And that's going to be with me for quite a while, folks. And that's the point of this video. So I want to show you some of the things that I was able to experience. It's going to be very difficult to express what I actually experienced up in the mountains and being alone. You don't have to go to the mountains, but what I'm trying to say is we need to spend more time alone, just being who we are, and contemplating higher thoughts. That's what men used to do, because they didn't have all of these diversions and distractions to take our minds away and prevent us from just being and just relaxing and just enjoying God. And I'm going to bring you to Romans chapter 1 later, but for right now, let's go have a look at some of the beauty in nature, shall we? So I was able to spend some time on the lake here. I'm not going to say where it was because I don't want everybody going up there. There was already too many people there, but it's a long road in. It was very isolated and very quiet, very, very quiet. And that was exactly what I needed. I was able to watch the sunrise. And, you know, when you look at the sun, they don't want us looking at the sun. They say we're going to hurt our eyes. And I'm beginning to question that. But anyway, here's the sunrise, and I look at the clouds and the sun. You know what, folks? Despite what we've been told all our life, the sun is not 93 million miles away. And if you're not bombarded with these, quote, facts all the time, and you actually look up there for yourself, these are some of the things that we will realize. And there was an eagle on the lake, and he used the lake as his private fishing grounds. And I got up early in the morning because he usually would fish in the morning early and then in the evening. So I was up early in the morning once I realized that there was an eagle at the lake, and I would look for him, and then I would hopefully be able to watch him fish. And if you look here, right in the center here, this is the eagle that's on that tree. And, you know, I noticed I noticed that he just sits there for a long, long time, just being who he is. And because I was hoping that he would fish, but he would sit there for a long time. And I would try to sit there longer than he did until he fished. And a lot of times I had to leave. I had to get up and go. But he's in no hurry. He's just sitting there in the sunshine, getting warm, and enjoying being who he is, I guess. And that's what he does. And I got to thinking, you know what? I need to do that myself more often. And then a little bit later, when I went with the kayak out on the lake, I saw the birds were doing the same thing. This bird sat on this tree stump for the longest period of time, and I was pretty close to him, and I was able to take photographs of him. And I just thought, you know what? I need to sit here more often and just enjoy the world around me. The ground squirrels near my camp would get up early in the morning, and they would come out of their hole, and they would enjoy the sun like I was doing. I would have a cup of coffee, and I would be in the sun getting warm, because it is pretty chilly up here, even in August or in July when I was there, because you're at 5,500 feet. So they would come out, and he would just sit there and look around and not do anything, not say anything. But we even got to communicate with each other. He would chirp, make a noise, and I would try to imitate it. And he would make a noise, and I would try to imitate it. And we got to communicating with each other for quite a bit, for quite a long time. And I really had a good morning communicating with the ground squirrels. This is 1,000 times better than watching it on the flat screen, folks. The moon was out to the south. This is taken on a different day, but I happened to catch this. This is actually a real contrail, folks. This plane flew by here, and as you can see, it's a contrail. And somewhere in this photo, there's an eagle that showed up, and I wanted to, there he is right there. See that? Contrail, moonshot, eagle. And then if we go from the skies to the ground, we have the flowers. There's so many different species and kinds of flowers. It just was amazing to spend some time looking at the flowers there in the campground. There was a bee. I haven't seen bees too much anymore, but there was quite a few of them up there. Have you ever just sat there and watched the bees or the ants like we used to do when we were children? There's another bee. Even the weeds look beautiful. Even the weeds. This is taken at Cedar Creek. And this is a very, very beautiful area, not too far from my home. And I can go there and sit there and just sit there all afternoon and just be. When's the last time you actually built a fire and sat there and enjoyed the fire, looked into the flames? I mean, that's entertainment, nature's entertainment, and you can't beat that. I never bought into the evolution thing. I've been a believer in creation since I was a young child. There's just no way that I bought in that all this happened from nothing. Come on, folks. And so now we've got other things that they've been able to push on the people who believe in evolution because they're so stupid, and they suppress the truth in unrighteousness. Romans chapter 1 verse 20, for the invisible things of him. Now this is the stuff that we can't see. The invisible things of Yahweh from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. You ever try to talk to somebody who believes in evolution and there is no God? He's a fool. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. There's no reason to talk to a fool. Not fake news here, folks. This is the real thing. Nature, creation. Being understood by what has been made so that they are without excuse. Folks, we live in an illusionary world. Those who believe in the illusion that's been created for them by the Antichrist, yes, plural, he's already here, folks. He's been anti-God since Genesis 3, and we're coming to a head. And we've got to stop. I believe we've got to stop allowing them to influence us with negative, bad news. There is no solution. If there is a solution, we're going to be the ones that offer it to you. We have the answers. No, folks, they don't have the answers. They have the problems. They create the problems. And we have to come up with solutions on how to deal with the world that we live in. I'm not here to change the world. I'm not doing these videos to try to convince anybody that they're wrong and my view is right. I'm here to try to share with others how I'm coping with can I be frank? How I'm coping with the up world we now live in because we've allowed the Antichrist and the Zionist and the Judeo-Christians to create a world that's you can't live in. I mean, eventually we're not going to survive, folks. They're spraying us with chemicals and nobody seems to care. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but I want to keep this to the solution. The solution is turn off the social media as much as possible. Don't continually. I believe that it's harmful for us to be being told all the time what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong, without there being a solution. I know what's wrong. I know who created the wrong. I know who messed up the world. I know it's our fault because we allowed them to do it. So we're just paying the price. But I still have to live in this world. I have to survive in this world. And I have to come up with solutions to be able to overcome the world. And there is a reward for those who overcome the world. And we need to be overcomers, and we need to learn what it takes to overcome. And I am suggesting that just being and just thinking and just critically thinking and relaxing, and however you want to put it, some in the sports world they put it being in the zone. They're doing it for the wrong purpose, but we need to get into fellowship with God, the Creator Yahweh, so that we can cope, we can plug in, we can be energized, we can be fulfilled we can overcome as Christ overcame the world. Don't tell me that Christ wasn't in the zone when he was talking to Pontius Pilate. And he refused to talk to Herod. He knew exactly what to do and how to do it. And we can learn to do the same thing. Not to the same extent as our Redeemer, but he's given us the example. He spent 40 days and he took his disciples with him into the wilderness sometimes, and then he went apart beyond that to talk with the Father. There's an example there for us, folks. So much more to say, but I'm going to leave it there. Turn off the lights, turn off the social media, turn off the audio, turn off. In fact, I want to show you something, folks, that I think was one of the best investments I've ever made. Let me get it. Hang on there. I bought these noise cancellation headphones from Bose many, many years ago. They've got a lot of use. I've replaced the ear muffs a couple times. There's a button here. You can turn this little button on, and it blocks out almost all the noise. Not quite, but most of the noise. Turn off all the media, grab a book, put the headphones on, and read. The first book I read while I was out in the mountains here was Henry David Thoreau's Walden, and he has a chapter in here that I thought was very, very good called Solitude. And I won't get into it, but this was a very enlightening read. This is 150 years ago approximately, and Walden, Henry David Thoreau, did the same thing that I'm suggesting that we need to do more often. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for supporting this channel. And may the grace of God, our Father Yahweh, be with us all. His unmerited favor be upon us all, for we certainly need it. See you.